What's going on, everyone? So, From season 3 is right around the corner, and I could not be more excited, especially after that ending from season 2. And with the trailer, get some little clues, you get some little mysteries, and that's the beauty of this series. Is it is just like one roller coaster, one nonstop mystery, and a lot of things that you can kind of speculate and kind of go down rabbit holes on. So let's go on one here. So in from the trailer for season 3, you see Jim getting a phone call, right? And as I'm sure many of you know, if you're fans of the show, the phones and stuff just don't work, right? Can't use this communication. They're just kind of there for decor. They're there for decoration. And a lot of people think that Jim is going to hear the voice that he heard on the CB radio from season 1, which is a very real and probably the most likely scenario, right? That is probably like the safest bet if you were to bet on, who's Jim going to talk to on that other line. And the fact that like he's even getting a phone call, period. But I want to propose a different idea, and that's he's talking to his wife. Now, Tabitha is presumably in the real world, right? At the end of From season 2, see her, she's looking around, she's not in the far away. The trailer has us led to believe that she is out, that she is in the real world, right? And she's trying to find, clues and evidence and a way to communicate, a way to get back, right? You see her go to the house with the bottle tree and all that stuff, right? Like, there is a clear story that is going to take place in this upcoming season that is going to dive into Tabitha and her either A, trying to find a way to communicate, her trying to find a way to get back so that way she can get everybody else out, or this is just another level of the far away that is just messing with Tabitha, her mind, and which, I mean, again, could arguably be the case with that, right? Especially with what we've seen and how things are kind of ramping up in Far Away with just like the dreams and all that stuff. And even the trailer kind of shows like, hey, no, this is going to continue to get worse. It's going to continue to get bad. But with Tabitha kind of trying to make her rounds and Jim kind of trying to navigate and I'm sure still try to figure out how to get out. And I'm sure there's going to be a storyline of like his concern because he hasn't heard from Tabitha and did she get out and did she escape, right? I mean, it's the man's wife, right? No, I would imagine that him and the children, right? I'm sure that they are probably looking at this as like, like, where's mom? What's mom doing? Did she really get out? Did she not? Right? Like, is there a way to communicate with her? Right? Is there a way that we can reach out and find some information? Right? Ethan and Julie, right? Two of them, I imagine, are going to be impacted and feel the loss of their mother not being around, right? So I do think that that's going to be a big story and is going to play a big part and a big role in this upcoming season. But I just think it makes a lot of sense that you would have Tabitha, if she's out, obviously wants to get her family out, as well as I'm sure everybody, but I'm sure that, as with all mothers, would prioritize her family. And thus you need to find a way to either A, get back, so that way you can help get them out again, right? If you can kind of figure out where the door is, right? Well, then you can lead other people to it and get in and out, right? If you have to, go to the lighthouse, and go on the tower and jump off, right? Like, but then you can jump back in and she can find that connection, she can find that doorway. Or the other alternative would be her being able to find a way to communicate, right? Find a way through the gentleman that she meets that has the paintings and the pictures and, the far away tree, which I think that's Victor's dad. Call me crazy, right? But just based on the bottle tree and the pictures in the basement and how he kind of has some information, some insight into it all, right? Like, I think it's going to be revealed that he's Victor's dad. Did a whole video about it. If you didn't check that video out, go check that video out. But I digress. Point is that clearly she is on a mission to try to gather some detail, some level of information, right? She is trying to figure out kind of the way that this works. And in doing so, you got to imagine that she's going to want to find ways to communicate and get back or reach out and talk. So could this gentleman, who at this time we don't know who he is, but you got to imagine he's going to have some connection. I don't think he's going to all of a sudden be a big part and a big role in the film, but I do think her going to this guy's house and seeing the bottle tree and seeing the painting and stuff, I think that that'll be the moment in the series where things start to kind of pivot and change, and you start to make some connections. And I do think that there will be that big reveal, whether it's Victor's father or there's some tie-in, or maybe he's somebody that got in and escaped, right? And, you know, maybe he's one of the only people that ever escaped, and he knows how to do it, and he knows how to get back, and relays that Tabitha. Now Tabitha is able to you know, kind of jump back and forth and go help these people. Also, and this is just rumor, we don't have really any truth or information on, so take it with a grain of salt. But supposedly, if this season does well, they want to have at least 2 more seasons, which would give us at least 5 seasons. That's the plan, right? That they want to at least have 5 seasons, kind of have this go. So I would imagine that however season 3 ends, it likely sets up season 4. Right? Now, there is always the possibility that it doesn't. That maybe it just ends. And you get 2 new seasons with maybe a new cast that's kind of setting up. Or, you know, maybe there's another layer from, right? Maybe Boyd stays back or something to, you know, to make sure no one else comes in and try to figure a way. Okay, like, I figured out how to get people out. Is there a way for me to make sure people can't get back in, right? Maybe that's what the final 2 seasons are about, like trying to stop that, right? So what if Tabitha really did get out and she's now trying to find ways to communicate and express that to the people in far away, and Jim's going to get a phone call, and I can just see it now, right? Jim's standing there at the sink, like you see in the trailer. Phone rings. He walks over like, oh, here we go. And then, you know, it's Tabitha. And she's just like, Jim. And he's like, what? Like, you know, or like, I could even see where, what if he keeps getting phone calls, right? Over and over and over again. And it is the person he's talking to and on the CB radio in season 1, right? And then in the scene we get in the trailer, what if that scene is Tabitha, right? Because he seemed like kind of like, here we go, right? Like kind of like almost like he's answered that phone before, almost like, you know, he's expected the call, right? So like, what if that's the approach? What if they, you know, Jim continuously talks to that voice and gets the call, thinks like, here we go again. All right, let's hear what he wants. And then Tabitha is just like, you know, Jim, like, you know, and they have some line of communication. And that could also be fun because would Jim believe that it's Tabitha? You know, would anybody believe it's Tabitha? Right? Like, just because she, you know, finds a way to communicate, that doesn't mean that they all believe it's really her. Right? They could all very well look at it and go like, there's no way it's her. Right? Like, how, like, there's no way to get in and out. There's no way to communicate. Like, she's the only person ever. Like, I don't know. It's an interesting point. It's an interesting thought. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think that there will be a way for Tabitha to potentially communicate? Do you think that that's what is going on here in the scene? Do you think it's something else? What do you want to see from season 3 or from? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So I enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.